Hello, and welcome to the Footy Podcast. To benefit Here's Help. Here's Help is a nonprofit comprehensive rehabilitation and educational agency that's been providing treatment services in South Florida since 1968. For more information on Here's Help or Footy's podcast, you can contact us at 305-685-8201. If you need help or know someone who has a substance abuse or alcohol problem, you can call our admissions office at 305-685-8201, extension 224. If you'd like to make a cash donation to Here's Help and join the fight against drug abuse, call Footy at 305-685-8201, extension 227. Now, here's Footy.
Well, hello, and welcome to another Footy podcast. We can't thank you enough for watching the podcast. We're getting a lot of views, a lot of likes. Thank you for liking. Thanks so much for the shares, and we love the comments. Please keep the comments coming. Those are great. We are speaking to you live from the Here's Help campus on 151st and 27th Avenue in the beautiful Miami Gardens, Florida. And the program, as I was just talking to our guest today, started out on terrestrial radio in the 70s, talking to the young men, and in those days, the young women who were going through recovery here at Here's Help. During the pandemic, we made the transition from terrestrial radio to our podcast. And again, we want to thank you so much for your support of our podcast. And make sure you click on that little bell on the screen, and we'll notify you every time we upload a new podcast. The Here's Help campus in Miami Gardens has been here for many, many years. It's grown. When I first met Footy, or John, as most of you guys know him as, it was just one little building on the corner here, 151st and 27th, and the campus has grown to this incredibly impressive structure with Miami-Dade County Public School and teachers here on the premises. The room we're speaking to you from is in the music building, for lack of a better word. Adjacent to us in this building is the music room that's been just graciously furnished by Gloria and Emilio Estefan, guitars, amplifiers, drums. It's everything. It's a musician's dream next door here, and we want to thank the Estefans for that and for all their great support of Here's Help over the years. The computer lab is here, graphics, art class adjacent to us. I believe it's not a dorm. What's next to us?
It would be the adult.
The dorm?
The adult, yeah.
There's two dorms.
Yeah, and then you have the kids where they could get their GED on the other side
here
of
at the
us.
school campus.
Mm-hmm.
And then the plumbing school is almost ready. I think they're just waiting for the inspections.
It's up, yeah. We're just waiting for the fire
guys
inspection.
to come in. Well, Footy's whole concept, which is what helped him through his problems many years ago, what he calls recovery through education. A lot of these young guys never finished high school for various reasons. So the first thing, if you don't have a high school diploma, is to get you enrolled here in the school and get you your high school diploma. There are a lot of, culinary is here. There are a lot of different recovery through education and
agricultural.
Replacement life is what he talks about. Because as we're going to find out, talking to our guest today, sometimes, pretty much all the time, as it progresses, substance abuse becomes a full-time job. And once you are trying to get rid of that substance abuse, you've got to find something to do with that time, and that's what Footy calls the replacement life. There's, as you mentioned, the culinary school. You can get certification to get a job in restaurants. The plumbing school off campus. The plumbing school is almost here. The Youth Automotive Training Center is off campus. So it's a wonderful facility, and it's been a real pleasure to have watched it grown over the years into what it's come. And it's a great pleasure to talk to the young men who are going through the program. I just grabbed you as I pulled into the parking lot. And what is your first name?
My name is Matthew.
Matthew, thank you for being with us. I saw you outside. I noticed from your orange shirt, that's the maintenance crew. That means you're new here.
Yes, sir.
And so I thought this would be a great opportunity to sit and talk with you about how you wound up here and what your thoughts are about this. So where are you from?
I was born here in North Miami. I lived here for about 18 years, and then I moved away to Pittsburgh, and I just recently moved back about a year ago.
And what are your issues with substances?
Well, I have a lot of issues with substances. Ever since I was 18, it controlled my life. I could never really, I was always going after that next high, and then I switched from one drug to the other drug, and then just recently, alcohol has landed me here in Footy's facility.
Right.
So, but it's a great facility, like you were saying. It helps a lot of people, especially coming out of jail, that need to transition into normal life. It keeps a lot of people out of jail also.
Yes. Yeah. And we've talked to some people on the podcast with some pretty serious charges pending. So
Absolutely.
it's saved a lot of guys a lot of grief. We can definitely tell you that. So did you start using substances at 18? That's that's a little later than we've talked.
I was smoking pot and when I was 14. But when I moved away, that's when I seriously got into it. Pittsburgh, yeah. I went to barber school there, and I ended up getting my barber's license. And then
did you cut your own hair?
No, I did not. That's another good thing about this facility. They have a barber that comes in on every Wednesday and cuts your hair for free. So he cleans you up and makes you feel a little better,
right?
Presentable.
It's a lot easier to work on your issues when you feel good about yourself,
Absolutely,
right? Look in the mirror and you like what you see.
Absolutely.
Cool.
And since Pittsburgh, it's just been a downward spiral. I was lucky enough to save up money in Pittsburgh and move to Myrtle Beach, where I opened my own barbershop up and had it for 4 years. Wow. And Hurricane Matthew came by and flooded it, and I was only renting there. I didn't own it. So I had to, they weren't going to fix it. It was pretty much totaled. So I ended up moving to Tennessee, and then that's when I really got into drinking and drugging really heavy. And I ended up, my mother ended up passing away. She was living down here. So I wanted to come back down here. She had a house here, and that's what led me back to South Florida. And I was drinking really heavy. I was in a depressed mood. So I'm a volunteer here, so I ended up volunteering, and I know I needed help. I know I needed to do something different. So that's what led me here to Footy's facility.
How old are you?
I'm 35. I'm the oldest one here.
Yeah, you're a little different story than what we normally hear. As I was talking sort of in the opening, most of the guys started out very young. I think the youngest we've ever heard was 11 or 12.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Which was horrifying,
I'm sure.
And you found an occupation that you enjoyed, and you actually got your own shop going, and through no fault of your own, that was taken away from you. And I imagine that probably had a lot to do with your problems with substances too. I mean, you had exactly, that was probably your dream, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it just kind of fell apart.
Yeah, and that's when I fell into like a big depression, and
it spirals, doesn't it?
It just gets worse and worse. You think it's the grass is greener on the other side, saying if you switch to one drug to the other just to get off of the other one, and it never works out. It's always you always find yourself in the same hole that you dug.
Did you find yourself, if you couldn't find the substances that you were looking for, did you find yourself just buying whatever was available?
Anything to make me feel numb, make the feelings go away for a little while, just make me feel like a different person. But I didn't like the person that I was. So anything that would...
Which made it even worse.
Worse.
Right.
Yep. It's been a long journey for me.
I'll say. Well, I have to tell you, it takes a tremendous amount of courage to check yourself in to a place like this. Almost all the guys that we talk to are court ordered or, a Marchman Act situation. So it says a lot for you that you realized. It took you a while.
Well, this isn't my first one. I tried one in Pittsburgh, and this is my second go around at it. But
well, do me a favor. Compare your experience. How long have you been here? A couple of days, right?
Yeah, only a week.
Okay, well, fair enough. But you've been around enough here. Yeah. Compare your experience in Pittsburgh to here, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, I was up there in the rehab it was during winter, so we had a lot of snow. But other than that, it was just there was a lot of people. This is a smaller facility where, you know, they only take in a certain amount of people. I think 25 is the most that they'll take in for adults, and juveniles, probably 20, the same. So it's more one-on-one, more, you know, they actually care here about, well, that's the feeling I'm getting. The therapists actually care about your recovery and how you're doing and what's going on in your life today. How do you feel today? You know, we have a meeting every other day, and that's the first thing she starts out with. In a normal rehab center, it's not like that. It's they just feed you medicine and make you numb for the whole time you're there.
It's just guys sitting around smoking, watching TV.
Yeah. You know, we can't watch TV all day here.
Right.
They keep us busy.
This is very structured here.
Well, that's a good thing, because none of us have structure out there.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of guys come in here. You know, the first couple of weeks are going to be the toughest because you're not used to it. But once you get adapted to the environment, you know, you see it's better than being out there with the same mindset that you had, you know, coming in here. So I really believe in this program, and I'm going to stick it through till they kick me out.
Yeah, awesome. Well, now, since you brought that up, you've only been here for a couple of days, obviously, but the way it works here is you get, when you come into the program, first thing you do is maintenance.
You do maintenance for 2 weeks, and
then you're able to eventually start taking culinary or horticulture, as you mentioned, or the other different thing, the plumbing school when that opens, and the Youth Automotive Training Center and all that. So, have you thought about what you're going to do when you walk out of here? What you're gonna get back into the barber thing?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna go back to barbering, cool. I would like to learn how to cook a little bit. So, because I barely ate when I was out there, but I would like to go into the culinary program that they have here. It's a very good program. It's
skills you'll definitely use for the rest of your life. I mean, absolutely. Even if you don't use it for an occupation, you got to eat.
Absolutely. And I've worked in restaurants before, cooking, and you can get certified here for
the food handlers,
the food handling certification, and you could also, I mean, so if you wanted to go into a chef position, you would already have a certification under your belt going into it, so that makes you look good at an interview. So I would like to do that. Agriculture, I don't really see myself working outside.
That's hard work,
in South Florida heat. So I think I'm going to go with that. With the culinary program.
Those guys are very strong-willed to do that. And the structure we were talking about, are you familiar? I mean, it's funny because when we talk to guys who've been here for a while, they can just 7 a.m. we're up. 7:05. I don't know if you've been here long enough. I don't want to put you on the spot.
I pretty much know it by now.
If you wouldn't mind.
Well, a normal, typical day during the week. So we would wake up at 7 o'clock. We would get dressed, make our beds, and then they give you uniforms here, so we wear the uniforms that we have at the job that we have to go to. Like I'm in maintenance, so I have a maintenance shirt on. And then we would meet in the auditorium by 7:30, and then from 7:30 we would do like a roll call. It's called a house meeting, but they just check to see if everybody's there, who's running late, and we would go to breakfast after that, and then from breakfast we would go back into the auditorium. We would watch Sports Center, a little TV until 8:30. And then from 8:30 till 2, we're at our jobs. Well, 8:30 till 11:30, we're at our jobs. And then from 11:30 to 12:30, we're at lunch. And then we eat the lunch, which the food here is excellent.
Oh my God.
It's all catered food. I've never been into a rehab where it's catered food. Usually it's like jail food where they come in trays, but no, this is chicken parmesan, baked ziti.
And we also should mention a lot of the stuff grown by the horticulture class goes to the culinary class, and they prepare that to feed to the guys going through recovery. So in a lot of ways, it's very self-sufficient.
It is. This facility really is, because you know the culinary people they cook the lunches,
right?
And
so then afternoons are busy.
Then in the afternoons, at 12:30 we go back to our jobs, and then we do the job until 2 o'clock. And then from 2 o'clock, we go back, we shower, we change, some guys just change, because then after that we have gym. And they have Alonzo Mourning was kind enough to bless us with this gym.
Amazing.
That was one of the key factors of me coming in here. I like to work out and get my mind off of just get my mind somewhere else than in my head. So the gym, thank you, Alonzo. That was very nice of him.
And we have to say,
it's a full gym.
And as big as he is, I interviewed Alonzo one time. I'll never forget this. I have to tell you this. I interviewed him once at the radio station I was working at, and I couldn't extend the mic stand high enough,
I believe,
to reach his face. So
we go to dinner from 5:45 till about 6:45, and after that, your day, you're pretty much just winding down. You've been running around all day.
You're tired.
You're tired.
Go to bed early.
You're tired. You usually watch football. Like last night, we were watching the football game.
What a game!
At 8:30. I know.
Oh my God! It was the Cardinals and the Rams.
Los Angeles. Yeah.
Wow, that was a barn burner.
Yeah, it was. And so we're just winding down then, and then we have snacks at 8 o'clock, 8:30, 8 o'clock. And, the snacks are usually, like, we had a big hamburger yesterday. So, I mean, you're going to get fed good here. If you,
yeah, a lot of guys,
you're going to gain some weight.
Yeah, a lot of guys gain weight right away, especially when not, living on the streets. A lot of the guys live on the streets. And so
that's pretty much our day. When you lights out, we're usually lights out around 10, 11 o'clock. Everybody's in the bed, showered, ready to go, ready for the next day.
And gone, out cold.
Yeah.
Well, I really, really appreciate you letting me grab you out of the parking lot here this morning. And I really appreciate you opening up and sharing your story with us and with our podcast viewers. And I want to say again, it's really courageous of you and very smart that you've checked yourself in, and that you obviously researched and found a place that you felt like would actually be able to give you the help that you need. And I'm sure, only having been here for 4 days, I'm sure I probably haven't caught you at your finest hour right now. I'm sure,
Yeah, you could say that.
You're a little on edge, I would assume. This is probably a new feeling for you. And so I appreciate you being able to come in and sit with us and talk with us and share your story. And I want to wish you the best of luck. I hope you come through this, and if there's ever a place that can help you, this is the place. And I think you made a good choice. And I'd love to be able to grab you in a couple of weeks after you've kind of mellowed out a little bit more and kind of gotten more acclimated, moved into one of the other programs and see what's going on in your world.
Wow, I look forward to it. Thank you. This place came highly recommended, as you were saying. This is a great facility, and I wouldn't be here if I didn't hear good things about it. So. Yep, I look forward to speaking with you anytime you want.
Excellent.
My name's Matthew Mercer.
Matthew, best of luck to you, man.
Anytime.
Folks, I want to thank you so much for watching our podcast again, and thank you for your great comments and for sharing and for clicking on the little bell so we can notify you when there's a new podcast. If what we've talked about here with Matthew rings true to you, maybe personally or maybe a friend or a loved one, we urge you to go to here'shelpinc.com. Check out the website. There's a list of phone numbers there. Any one of those phone numbers can answer any questions that you have. I can tell you from the years I've been associated with Here's Help that I can endorse what takes place here, and I've seen a lot of miracles happen. So please take that to heart. Thanks again for viewing. We'll have another podcast very soon on the Footy Podcast.
Have you been introduced to Footy Sauce? Footy Sauce makes it easy to give ordinary chicken wings extraordinary flavor. Footy Wing Sauce is made with a perfect blend of herbs and spices. So what are you waiting for? Pour it on. Footy's Wing Sauce guarantees you a better tasting chicken wing every single time. When you fire up the grill, pour it on. Let Footy be your wingman. Kick your next party up a notch with Footy Sauce. Grab Footy's Wing Sauce and pour it on.
Thank you for listening to the Footy Podcast. To benefit, Here's Help. For more information about the Footy Podcast or Here's Help, contact us at 305-685-8201. If you need help or know someone who has a substance abuse or alcohol problem, you can call our admissions office at 305-685-8201, extension 224. If you'd like to make a cash donation to Here's Help and join the fight against drug abuse, call Footy at 305-685-8201, extension 227. The executive producer of the Footy podcast is Sam Zacco, COO of Here's Help.